can you post the same video to both TikTok and Reels? The short answer is yes, and in this video, I'm gonna walk you through my process on how I create a video on TikTok. It's not as hard as you might think. I post it to TikTok. I then save a copy of that video and publish it to my Instagram Reels. 2 platforms, 1 video, let's go. If you're new to TikTok marketing, I have a few videos on this channel that already cover the how-tos of making a TikTok. So go ahead, take a look, and be sure to watch any of these videos first if you still haven't made your very first TikTok, because we're diving right in. I have my TikTok profile pulled up right here, and I'm taking you into my drafts, and I'm gonna publish a TikTok that I already created and edited. So just so you can see what it's all about, let me play this one for you. Like I said, I already edited this one, so it's ready to be published. So last few steps, I'm gonna select a cover. I'm gonna actually add a cover that says things, not thungs, things business people say. And maybe an emoji. Okay, so I'm gonna make that my cover, hit save, and let's add in some hashtags. And now I'm gonna hit the magical post button. So let's get this TikTok out there. All right, it's posted. Now after it's posted, I usually like to preview it and make sure that none of the elements on the right-hand side of the screen are overlapping with my text. I mean, it's kind of too late because it's already published, but it all looks good. I'm gonna like my post, why not? Then I'm gonna go to my profile, it's there. Then I'm going to tap the 3 dots in the bottom right corner, and I'm going to say copy link. So the message says this video is under review and can't be shared right now. So sometimes it takes like 30 seconds. So you'll just want to come back to your video and do that exact same process. I exited out of TikTok, I reopened it. I see we have 8 views. I think that's promising. Hit those 3 dots in the bottom right, hit copy link, and we're copied. So you have to wait for that link to be copied. If you enjoyed this tip, I have something really cool coming up for you. It's a live Reels focus challenge just for you, the busy business owner. So if you're in for working with me as your coach on how to use Reels so that they actually bring in leads and sales to your business, you're gonna wanna join me in this free 5-day Reels focus challenge called the Reel of Fortune. Pretty good, right? I'm gonna walk you through how to make Reels for your business and make a fortune from them. Okay, well, we're gonna work on it. So to get signed up for this live challenge that's happening in October of 2021, head to the link right below this video and be sure to sign up today. It's free. And you'll get to work with me as your coach every day. And it's 5 days only. And we're gonna make Reels that will actually grow your business, and it's free. Cool, so we have our link copied. Next thing you're gonna do is head to Chrome or Safari, one of those browser apps, and you're going to go to snaptik.app. It sounds like it's an app, but it's actually a URL that you go to. So here I am on snaptik.app. Then I'm gonna paste my TikTok link right here. So there we go, and then I'm gonna tap download. So this, my friend, is how we're downloading the TikTok video to my camera roll, but removing the TikTok watermark. That's why we're doing this process. So it's been downloaded now. I'm gonna tap download server 1, and it's gonna do some more magic. Then when this pop-up appears, I'm gonna tap download again. You can see in the upper right, that blue downwards arrow. If you tap that, there is my downloaded video. All right, and now this is an iPhone, so it might look a little different on Android, but once you see this screen, you're then gonna tap the square arrow in the bottom left and then save video. So now this is actually going to be saved to my camera roll. So hit done. Let's go to my photos, and there we go. So I've got that TikTok video now saved to my camera roll, and there's no TikTok watermark. Why do we care about this? Well, Instagram has said that it's not going to promote videos from other platforms, especially if the watermark is seen. So while trends start on TikTok, you're going to want to actually look to TikTok first and then make your video there and bring it over to Instagram Reels. And this is how we post on 2 platforms with 1 video. So the one thing you want to double check before posting this to your Reels, you want to make sure that the audio isn't out of sync. Sometimes it's really obvious, especially for talking-based videos or where you're lip syncing. So if your downloaded version is a little off, here is one extra step you can take if you're really paranoid about this kind of thing to make sure your audio is in sync. So you're going to go to an app called InShot. Now, I pay for InShot because I use it a lot. It's worth it. So what I'm going to do is hit video and then new. Then I'm going to pull in that video right there. All right, and I've done this process a ton, so I can do it really quickly. So I'm going to tap on my clip, then I'm going to tap on volume. Then I'm going to tap on extract audio. So now it's separated. So if I zoom in really closely here, I can see that there's a gap, and that's why my audio is off just slightly. So I'm going to hold my finger down on the purple and move it to the end so it matches up. That typically is how I match my audio. So I am going to just hit the check mark here, hit play. So now it's a little bit more on beat. The one thing I find about InShot is it gives me that black screen at the end. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit more, and then I'm just going to move my cursor to where that black screen first appears. So there's my face, which we want to keep, and I don't want that black screen. So I'm just going to move it right here. I'm going to tap split and then delete. So we've cut out that black screen at the end. Now my clip is ready to go. So to export it out of InShot, I'm going to tap the square arrow in the upper right and hit save. So now this version is saving to my camera roll. There we go, it's saved. So I'm going to go ahead and hit draft. I always like to keep my edited TikToks as drafts in InShot because sometimes I repurpose them for ads. Big tip right there. All right, so if we go back to my camera roll, you'll see that I now have 2 versions of the video, but remember the first one was from Snaptik and the second one was from InShot. And the one we want to publish, you got it, is the one from InShot. So now we're going to head on over to Instagram. So here I am on my Instagram profile. I'm going to tap the plus button in the upper right, and then I'm going to tap reel. Then I'm going to swipe up, pull in that reel that I just created in InShot. I'm going to hit add, then I'm going to hit preview, and then I'm going to, actually I might turn on the Paris filter. It kind of adds a little bit more light to my screen. Yeah, I'm going to turn that filter on. Then I'm going to hit next.
Let Facebook recommend your Reels to grow your audience? Yes, always allow.
This is new. If you get this pop-up, make the best decision for yourself, but I'm going to say always allow. And I am just going to write a really short caption for this. I'm going to say things business people say. And then one of my favorite emojis is, where is he? The smirk. So that's going to be my caption, things business people say. Now, where you put your hashtags, totally up to you. You could enter them in right below your caption, or you can post them as your first comment. So what I'm going to do is I actually want to create a cover image for this reel. Because of the way my grid is designed, my next post that I have coming up, I like to have it as a quote card, like a white background with text. So I'm not going to publish this right now. I'm actually going to hit save as draft. And you can see looking at my feed, right? My most recent post had a colorful background. I'm due for a post that has a white background. So here's how I quickly make cover images for my reels when I want to have my next post be a quote card with a white background. So what I'm going to do is go to home, and then I'm going to go to my story, and I'm just going to take a picture. Doesn't matter what it is, you can pull something up from your camera roll. Then I'm going to go to the squiggle line in the upper right. Then I'm going to make sure that white is selected, which it is. I can see by the icon in the bottom left. Then I'm just going to tap and hold and press my finger down on the screen, and it's going to give me that white background. Hit done. Now it's time for the text. So my quote card text is just going to be really basic things, and I don't need that background, and I want it to be black. So one extra tip is when you're creating something like this and you want to bring in your brand colors, what I like to do is go to my albums, and in my favorites, I actually have my brand colors saved. So I'm going to go select, tap, square button at the bottom, copy photo. Then it's going to paste directly into this screen where I'm making this story. And of course, I'm not going to leave it here. I'm just using it as a place to reference my colors. So now I can play around with it. So maybe I want business people, for example, to be in a green color. So I'm going to tap my eyedropper icon and I'm going to move it to one of my green colors. So there we go. We've got green right there. So some options are you can use the pen tool, you can use the eyedropper, and you can add arrows or you can add squiggles. I sometimes play around with that. Oftentimes I'll circle one word. So maybe I'll do that for this example. Okay, then I'm going to hit done, and then I'm going to take my image of my brand colors, I'm going to drag it around, I'm actually going to delete it so that it's not on my screen. Okay, so let's say I'm happy with this as my cover image. Let's move this up a little bit. Then I'm going to save this to my camera roll. So I'm not going to post it, I'm just going to save it. So hit that downward arrow in the upper menu, and now it's saved to my camera roll. But maybe I want to give myself a few options. So before I delete it, I'm going to go back to my squiggle line in the upper right, and I'm going to say undo. And then I just want one like this. So I'm going to save this version as well. And then let's bring in my color codes again. So tap to bring up your cursor and then hit paste. It's still there. So maybe business people, we want to try it as red. I'm just looking at my feed right now. I don't know if I like the red so much. Let's bring it back to the dark green. And then one other trick that I like is to hit the A button in the upper right and then go to your keyboard and hit the 1, 2, 3 button and then hit the hashtag plus equal button. And you see on the far right of your keyboard, you get that dot icon. So bring that dot in and then hit space and then do another dot and then hit space and then do another dot. Okay, so this is how you can get a dotted line, another cool way to emphasize words, okay? Now, to create a color for this dot, this dotted line, tap your color wheel, tap your icon, and then let's choose our yellow. Okay, so now we've just made this yellow. Cool. Okay, so I'm going to delete this again. Then I'm going to hit save on this guy. So now we've saved a couple options. And now I'm going to go back to our Reels drafts, right? Because we already uploaded that draft. I'm going to select it. And now we have some cover images. So I tapped where it says cover in the upper left. Now I'm going to tap add from camera roll, and you can see there are a couple options. So what I like to do is look at my options and pick the one that's standing out to be first. So I am going to go with our more recent one. Yeah, with the 3 dots. I think that looks good. There we go. We have our caption, our cover image. Now we are ready to post it to Instagram Reels. I'm going to add my hashtags as the first comment. So if there's anything else you want to add to your caption, I would just like to especially encourage engagement. I might add another line that says, what am I missing from this list? So this could be a fun way. If anyone else has any creative ideas, they can comment below my video, and their ideas might be content for a future video. So that could be fun. All right. The last thing I want to check is where it says crop profile image. So this is what allows you to center your text if it's not already been centered. And I'd say that looks pretty centered. So I'm going to hit done, leave that as is. Everything else looks good to go. Things business people say, what am I missing from this list? Boom, I'm going to hit share, and we're publishing this to my feed right now. while it's publishing, I'm gonna head over to my notes and grab my hashtags. Okay, let's go back. There it is published. So I'm gonna tap watch in Reels. I'm gonna heart it, obviously, and then go to my first comment, and right away I'm going to paste in my hashtags. I've been adding a hashtag Elise Darma lately too. I feel like it's gonna be useful one day. Tap post. So now I've added these hashtags to this post, and now this is good to go. I went with a really short and sweet caption, so when people tap more to read the caption in full, the text isn't going to cover all the text that's going on already on my screen. So if you want, you can preview it, make sure that the text isn't overlapping. It's looking a little blurry, and that might be because I added that additional Paris filter at the end, but the point is made, right? Now, if you want to boost your reel right after publishing, the very first thing you'll want to do is tap the paper airplane icon and say add reel to your story. And what I like to do is, I'm gonna add text, and I'm just gonna keep it simple. So I'm gonna repeat my caption, things business people say, with my smirk. I'm going to add a background box to it. I'm actually gonna cover it so that people can't read the text. And then I'm going to add a GIF to get someone to tap to see all that goodness that we just published. Okay, so that's good to go. And then I'm going to tap your story. So it's now publishing to my story. And there we go. We have just taken a video that was originally published on TikTok. I've shown you my whole process of how I also publish it to Reels. Now, just for kicks, why don't we check back in on our TikTok profile and see how our original video is doing there? So let's go back, let's do a little refresh. We were at 8 views initially. What are we at now? 17 views. So the views are starting to come in. 17 views on TikTok and 220 on Instagram. Now that's just because I have more Instagram followers. Simple math. So there you have it. There's my whole process on how you post one video to 2 different platforms. Is there something new that you learned in this video from me? I would love to hear from you. What was the gem? What was the takeaway you got from today's video? Be sure to leave a comment right below, and I can't wait to see what you learned. To ease in revenue, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching today's video on how to take one video and post it to 2 platforms. If you liked it, be sure to stick around and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the bell so that you don't miss any future trainings just like this one.